Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Viewers of College Game Day are angry. Now, that part I understand. But when I initially saw these headlines, I thought the wrath of their anger would be directed at Pat McAfee. During the fall, I think it was the fall of 2023. The Athletic released a poll. Now, I don't remember the specifics of it, but the gist of it was ESPN's audience can't stand Pat McAfee. Looking at his ratings on television, it makes sense. If you have ever attempted to watch his show, Pat McAfee, he can be, I guess you would call him an acquired taste. Problem is, anyone over the age of 35 never acquires the taste. Pat McAfee appeals to young dudes who don't know any better, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Guys like Mike Wilbon, Tony Kornheiser, they entertain the grown-ups, while Pat McAfee entertains the kids. But Pat McAfee, he was not the target of this anger from ESPN viewers. Viewers of College Game Day, they are pissed off with Nick Saban. What? Nick Saban? The great one? Why in the hell would they be pissed off with Nick Saban? Apparently, there is a segment of the audience that wants Nick Saban fined and maybe even fired because Nick Saban uses bad words. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble upon this video, be sure to check out my main channel Behind the Line. The link to the main channel is in the description below. First of all, Nick Saban is not going anywhere. When you're a legendary figure like Nick Saban, you don't get fired from jobs. You quit jobs when you damn well please. But at a network that is starved for legitimate analysts, ESPN is desperate for people who actually know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, this is the same network that plays make-believe and pretends that Mina Kimes is an NFL analyst. Nick Saban is an actual analyst. Nick Saban can offer a perspective on college football that very few people are qualified to give. This dude has been coaching college football longer than I've been alive. 7 national titles, 11 SEC titles. He's won nearly 300 games, coached in 31 bowl games. I think it's safe to say that Nick Saban knows what he's talking about. Compare his resume to Mina Kimes. Nick Saban has tied more games than Mina Kimes has participated in. And throughout his decades-long coaching career, Nick Saban only tied once. When Nick Saban speaks on college football, people listen. But the problem is, at least for some people, the problem is the way Nick Saban chooses to speak at times. There were a couple of instances throughout the season last year where Nick Saban elected to use some choice words. According to the complaint sent to the FCC, he said shit twice and bitch once. Oh no! Cover your ears! Hide the children! Saint Nick isn't bringing toys, he's bringing profanity! The FCC received numerous complaints about the language on College Game Day. One complainer wanted ESPN to fine Nick Saban $1 million. $1 million for saying the word shit. $250,000 per letter. Believe it or not, part of me, a very small part of me, can understand the complaints. I don't understand them wanting Nick Saban fined or fired, but I do partially understand the frustration. I'm sure a lot of dads, a lot of parents are watching College Game Day with their kids on a Saturday morning. Even though they are going to be exposed to it eventually, you don't want your 5-year-old walking around saying shit because he heard Nick Saban say it. Now, at the same time, it is not ESPN's responsibility or Nick Saban's to parent your child. It's your responsibility. ESPN isn't catering to children. They're catering to adults. There are plenty of networks on television that offer child-friendly content. Nick Saban shouldn't have to watch his mouth because young Preston in Des Moines, Iowa is watching ESPN with his father. Unfortunately for the complainers, they wasted their time complaining to the FCC. ESPN doesn't have to abide by FCC guidelines because they're a cable network. But even if they had to abide by FCC guidelines, they're not firing Nick Saban. Ever since they hired Pat McAfee, ESPN has been a bit more lenient with the language. For most people, I don't think it's a problem. Now, me personally, do I want to hear excessive cursing? No. I don't like excessive cursing in my day-to-day life. I don't like excessive anything. But throwing in a curse word here and there, it can make your point more impactful. There is a big difference between he's acting like a bitch and why is he so feminine? Ooga, ooga. Give me your thoughts on this. The FCC receives numerous complaints pressuring ESPN to fine Nick Saban for profanity. What do you guys think of cursing on College Gameday? I know it's a morning show. It's supposed to be family friendly. And look, we're not talking about excessive profanity here. It's cursing being used here and there mainly to make a point. Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.